Hi, I'm DJ the Money Coach. Don't touch that dial. You want to become financially independent? You want to have consumer debt freedom? You want to have passive income, learn how to build a business, acquire real estate, and achieve the lifestyle you deserve in 2021? Well, hit that link below right now. We've worked with over 20,000 people in the past 2 decades, helping them become consumer debt free, increase their credit scores by 30 to 60 points in 30 days or less, and help them acquire businesses, real estate, taxes, and a network of experts just like me. So you'll get a complete 3-hour, 18-module course called Family Finance 101 that'll teach you A to Z how to become consumer debt free, credit worthy, and put you in position to become a certified entrepreneur. We'll also give you a complimentary consultation with me that's a $500 value. Why would you want to do that? Because I have already achieved that, and I can help you achieve your American dream in 2021. Hit the link below, get the free webinar and the complimentary consultation, and I'll see you soon and wish you a pom-pom lifestyle. That's plenty of money and peace of mind. Come join us.
All right, welcome, hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Nick's Knowledge and Notions in Cube Science Series, brought to you by the 7 Spheres of Money. Thank you for joining us for what's going to be another powerful and fired up episode, and we're actually going to be building off of last night's fire. We're still jacked up from last night, right, DJ?
Oh man, absolutely, best episode ever, man. Getting a lot of good feedback, positive. Man, people are, man, I guess we hit a hot spot with folks, man. I got a lot of people hitting me up on text and everything, talking about how great the show was and how refreshing it was to have 4 generations of strong black men just commiserating together, man, and not being against each other. So yeah, man, it was amazing, bro. I mean, look out, man. That's gonna be a fire show. So if you ain't plugged into that show and it's only been the 2nd episode, you need to bet on black, you know, the men, the family, the legacy, every Thursday, 7 p.m. Central Time, like clockwork, straight up.
Yep. That's right. There's the show again. Bet on Black, the men, the family, the legacy, on there on the screen for you. And yeah, and before we jump into tonight's topic, you know, you see it in the title there. Remember, you know, it's Friday night. You know, tonight is the pre-party. We're partying tonight.
That's right. Yeah. We got to plug. Hey, the Zoom Tolero party begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I mean, it's actually right now, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time every Friday. And tonight is a booming DJ. And again, you got to get your Tolero. There it is right there, baby. There it is. DJ Shakim and DJ Sean Touch. And in order, you know, to really enjoy the party, you got to get your Tolero. And all you got to do is go to tolerotequila.com, enter the promo code MONEY, MONEY. You get a 10% discount, courtesy of DJ the Money Coach.
Yep. That's right. There it is on the screen.
And like I say all the time, I literally, guys and gals, just came back from a tasting with some high-end restaurateurs who couldn't believe this was tequila, number one. And secondly, was like, this is the best, you know, spirit they have ever tasted. Regardless if it was tequila, if it was Cavassier, bourbon, scotch, they were like, bar none. It was smooth, flavorful, and amazingly at a very affordable price that they ready to do a distribution deal with us. So I'm going to tell you, like I tell everybody, if you get the Tolero and you honestly don't like it, DJ the Money Coach is going to refund your money. That's right. That's how fire this Tolero, 100% organic. Only one in this class is organic, 100% blue agave, and 100% black owned. Woo, baby.
That's the best part.
That's the best part right there. Man. So go to tolerotequila.com, enter the promo code MONEY, MONEY, get a 10% discount. on behalf of DJ the Money Coach, and enjoy and drink responsibly and come to the party with us.
All right. Now let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and get into it. Yeah. So like I said, you know, we're going to build off of the energy from last night. You know, all the brothers on there. Now you seen the title. We're going to be talking about Kwame Brown. Now I wasn't going to engage with it, you know, or give it my attention until I found out, you know, what about the gems that he was dropping in that video. Like I saw it on the internet, you know, all the sensational headlines and all of that. So I'm like, I'm not going to, you know, that's probably just a bunch of drama. I'm not going to, you know, engage with that. But last night when we were on the show, you know, DJ made a quick mention about that. I'm like, okay, all right. The DJ talking about it. He checked it out. He said he was talking about some good stuff. I'm going to check it out. You know, so I watched the video. His response to you know, them guys like DJ likes to call them clowns on on that you know, all the smoke podcasts or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
You know,
They're puppets.
They're puppets.
They're puppet master. That's what they are. Yep. They're puppets, and they will dance for any dollar you give them, and they will throw their dignity and their values out the window for a freaking dollar. They're professional prostitutes.
Yeah. And let's keep this in mind. You know, Kwame, he's been quiet for the past 20 years, you know, about all of that. So the title says you know, the lessons and the takeaways, you know, from his response video. That's the first thing. You know, he, you know, when you're on your purpose and you're a real baller, you're a real man, you know, you don't respond to, you know, people talking about you or making jokes about you. But, you know, but after a while, you know, especially during this time when manhood is on attack, you know,
let's put black manhood is on attack.
Manhood
is on attack too,
Yep.
but black manhood, they want to extinguish us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, check this out. When I was in college, I was telling people, man, there's a program to extinguish black people altogether. And I said, we'll be extinct just like the spotted owl. And this was back in the early 90s, man. I came out of college in 92. And I was talking about the you know, opportunity that we may be extinct one day, like the ice ages. And they're doing that immediately with the incorporation of, you know, the biracial relationships, the LBG, blah, 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 and all that. And now it's like what Robert Kiyosaki said, hey, man, winners mind their own business.
There you go.
And that's what Kwame Brown been doing. And like he said so eloquently, he said, hey, man, where were you clowns at when I was getting clowned as a young 18-year-old professional? When everybody was making me the butt of their jokes, I didn't see you coming up getting my back. But now you ain't got nothing to talk about. You want to pull my name out of the rabbit hat so you can appease your white suppressor who's actually your boss and say, hey, this is the topic we're going to talk about, so you can sensationalize and get things in a flurry to get people excited so they can make money. He minding his own business on his own farm, ain't even thinking about you, but you ain't got nothing to talk about. You ain't got Housewives of Atlanta, Housewives of Hip Hop, because people tired of hearing about that, but they need some new fake drama. And you say, oh, we got the perfect one. Let's call this dude out. And, you know, it's like the shark, where the shark has those little fish that be riding underneath his belly. I forgot what they're called, but they're like, you know, the ones that clean, you know, the belly. And the shark's not really bothered by it. Or it's like the net that keeps bothering the dog and stuff. And, you know, it don't really bother you, but then it gets to a point where you got to let them know, I'm the fucking shark. And just squash them. And then you get the fly swatter and you just smash that net.
Mm-hmm.
But prior to that, you have no value and you don't affect them because you are nothing, you have no substance. So these clowns, oh, we just joking. And he called them out. And he said, hey, man, here you got this, you know, half-breed who trying to play hard to get his black card. And then you got this clown who still trying to be a gangster at 43 years of age.
Yeah. Even though he never was a gangster to start with, but you know, that's another.
Right. But that's what they want to sell to society, so they can be constantly in fear for your well-being, and they can also justify that, oh, this is the reason why they're inferior to us, because they're just animals. But you, dumb, you couldn't resist the money, because guess what? You don't know how to manage your money, so you got to prostitute yourself for every dollar to stay relevant. It's like the old guy at the club in his 40s and 50s, still trying to be popular. Don't realize that everybody laughing at you. And the attention you getting is because the dollars and maybe some credit you got that the young girl just using you for. But you ain't smart because you're so lonely and have nothing to live for, you go ahead and play the game anyway. And then, like he said about Jamel Hill, here it is. He said, that's funny. I don't never hear you or them say nothing negative about white people. Just like Terry Crews, white dude, grab his scrotum, and he claiming, you know, he been what they call it?
Harassed?
Harassed, sexually harassed by a man. Look, let some mother grab me, because I ain't about violence. But just like Kwame said, if you step to me and put hands on me, I'm gonna put the lights out. But again, you won't say nothing about the white guy. You won't say nothing about the gay people. But you immediately, oh man, kill a brother, kill a N, kill a B, kill a H. And you doing exactly what they want you to do, extinguish our race. Because these young, impressionable minds that don't know no better, who are in a bad situation, that they don't know where their next meal will be, but they see you out here blinging, fake balling. Oh, that's the way to money. But again, high value don't mean high character. But guess what? High character immediately means high value. And y'all get that on the way home.
Yeah. But
real quick, we're going to get back to Kwame, but Jamel Hill, everything she does, she always downing black men, black people. And if you look at her receipts, other than her being, you know, put in a, you know, arranged marriage, everything she does is with white people and with white men. I used to follow her on ESPN, and every party, her and Kerry Champion, they slumming bottom of the barrel with white dudes. I mean, literally sleeping with them, caught up in a hotel with them, white boy, all drunked out in an abyss. And these top tier, supposedly black women, they at the bottom, literally holding their nutsack. But then in the New York Minute, they'll say something negative about you or me, because that's what their, you know, bosses tell them to do. But you about this blackness, you about bull, and you about getting a bag and a check. What have you created a value? Where you at adding value in the community? Like Kwame said, instead of you out here getting shoes and looking pretty at 43 and smoking blunts, why don't you take that $3, $4, $5, $10,000 you wasting foolishly and go build a foundation? Give some money to the Boys and Girls Club of America. Support the YMCA. Oh, here's a novel concept. How about give some of that money to the HBCU? You know what I'm saying? So Kwame was right on point. He was like, look, boy. So he was sonning him. Look at over here. Look at this tractor, because I'm out here doing work. I got a farm. I don't need a job. I don't need groceries. I got a farm, and I teach my kids how to become farmers. I've got land. And if I was a scrub, how did I play 10, 12 years in the NBA and accumulate $65 million? But the two of them combined ain't made that amount of money. One averaged eight points a game in the NBA, and the other one averaged 12. And he's more relevant than you two clowns, because now, again, a social, you know, public broadcast vehicle who's run by liberals and the LBGQ, they want to put these puppets out here and just spew negative images to young, impressionable minds. And you are not smart enough not to say no to that money, because you got nothing. You literally have no money, have no real investments. So you're going to take that bag and you're going to sit up here and denigrate your own community for the glory of yourself. And what you don't realize is that this is what you're teaching your children. So your own children don't even respect you. And you want to poke, stop, don't, my grandmother used to say, don't poke the bear.
Yep, that's what happened.
Don't poke the bear. My grandmother used to always say, you don't believe Billy the goat. I'll be like, man, what is Billy the goat? Mountain goats got them big old horns, and you mess around, they're going to knock your ass out.
You know, they're going to ram you.
Right. And when you're not the flavor of the month, which these puppets are, and they just cast them aside and get their other, puppet, then you'll be right back where you were. But all the damage you've done to this impressionable minds, especially in these single mother households who are out prostituting themselves, selling themselves for $1. And that's what Kwame was summarizing. Like he said, hey, where were y'all at? Ain't nobody calling me, asking me how I'm doing, when everybody's, trying to bully me, MJ as well, and not knowing what the real story was, that MJ wanted to have championships. So he wanted to use, Kwame as his, person to kick, in the side, when his argument was with the owner, P.O.M, who outmaneuvered MJ, which a lot of people don't realize. MJ was given a percentage of ownership to the Washington Bullets at the time to increase their audience capacity, the value of their brand, and then they fooled him to say, oh man, it'll be even better, MJ, if you go down and play with the team. But the ownership for the NBA says an owner cannot be a player. But MJ's egotistical arrogance said, oh man, I'm gonna go down here and show them how to be winners, and he forfeited his right as ownership. Don't nobody really know that, because I'm a finance guy. So Polian took his fleeting NBA franchise that wasn't worth nothing, and when Jordan laced them up and put them shoes back on, the audience went to sellout crowds and took that franchise to 20x in value. And Polian said, oh, did you know the little exercise clause says that you can't be an owner and a player at the same time? So that ownership you had, 5-10%, and you were going to be in a position to buy us out, oh, that's null and void, bro. His ass got played. He was playing checkers, and the white Jew boy played chess on his ass. So now he's really incensed. And now, to make gas on a fire, they purposely draft Kwame Brown. And Jordan put all his cronies together, former, North Carolina players, Duke players, people that had won and some medal ready to win a championship like right now, and it wasn't going to happen because Polian was about that money. See, when he got the valuation of his team, he wasn't trying to win no championship. See, here's what people don't understand about sports franchises. When they get upset with their favorite team not winning, guess what? The owner number one job is make money. If the people in the stands making us money and we ain't winning, them fools still coming, why am I going to give them a championship when I'm going to spend more money and I'm going to lessen my profits to give you a championship? I used to be a diehard Cubs fan. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going out there giving my money. They ain't put up. But then when I understood the economics, I was like, what would be the incentive? It's like what Earl Grey said from Black Enterprise. And he wrote a book, How to Succeed in Business by Being Black. He said, hey, man, let me give you a classic anecdotal story. My mom used to be loyal to Maytag. He said, but Maytag never advertised in the community. BMW used to do the same thing. Now, y'all might think I'm going off on a tirade or off on a tangent about Kwame Brown, but all this connects because you ain't super intelligent. I'm over your head, and that's your problem, not mine. But I'm giving you what they call game. But I'm actually teaching you real life business and loyalty. And when you're disloyal to your community, buying and bringing Gucci and Fendi and red bottoms in your community and getting nothing exchanged, you're dumb. And Kwame is saying, you're dumb. You are destruction, chaos. What do you call them? Chaos creators? Vehicles of chaos destruction. He had a great terminology. It was awesome. And you don't even realize it. you're actually killing yourself for the enemy. So back to the Earl Grey. So Earl Grey said, hey, his mother, because one time a Maytag guy came to her house and was nice to her, she would never buy anything but Maytag. And then it got to the point where Maytag wasn't delivering, and Earl Grey started Black Enterprise. He said, hey, man, Maytag, our people buy your product. My mother is dead loyal to it. I was like, oh, okay, so what? And the guy told him, he said, why would I spend more money into the community when I'm getting more out of it without advertising? How smart would that be for my bottom line? Oh, snap. So when Kwame was talking about, oh, pretty Becky boy, you wearing the latest this, and you got your hair pressed and dyed to the side, and you promoting this and that, you ain't nothing but a fool and giving them a free entry point to our community, rob our resources because we're consumers, and you ain't nothing but a vehicle of mass destruction. And you are a boy. You're 40 years of age, 43 years of age, and still talking about, oh, I'm a gangster. Oh, man, I get high all the time, and it's all good. And that's what you want to. And even if it's legal, dude, do that in the privacy of your own home. You're irresponsible. You are a, boy in a man's body. That's it. And you ain't even in a man's body. You're a buffoon. Step and fetch it. You're worse than the enemy because you're the worst type of enemy. A purveyor of degradation and stupidity. And because you got a check, just like I always talk about Cardi B, oh, man, oh, she made the WAP. Oh, they gave her 50 minutes. And guess what? We're all these leaders, and what do? To show you how they think about you, ignorant folks, the president-elect, he interviews with her versus interviewing with real, proven economic professors, political science professors, people doing real work, because guess he don't care about you. Because what he knows is, I get this clown up here, I'm going to get these young, impressionable dummies to think I'm going to do right for him, and fast forward, you give him your vote, and he gives you nothing. And that's what Kwame was saying in a nutshell. Yep. And again, you say anything about them, and they coming at you. Like he said, oh, man, and not on top of that, you're idol worshipers. Oh, I say LeBron should be talking about how he got his wife and how they together and show that example of a real black family together, but he out here talking about other stuff. Oh, man, you can't be talking about the king. You can't talk about the king. He's the king. What he the king of? He the king of propaganda. And he ain't smart enough to realize that. Because, again, his message of security is, oh, I just got 200 million. I got 500 million. Oh, I got a school that's run by white people, and I got the boys club $1 million. But how about you set up here and do a series about how you and your wife, Savannah, your childhood sweetheart, have been together, no controversies, raising solid black children. Oh, but you know what? That don't sell for white America. And that's what Kwame was pointing out. Oh, man, you talk about Beyonce. Oh, you can't talk about the Beehive. Really? What the fuck she did for me? She's shaking her ass, spinning around poles, doing lyrics on movies, being a bed wench to a white Jewish boy. And you want to praise that? And she got transgender males dressed up in the Black Panthers uniforms on stage at the Super Bowl? And you think that's honorable? Did you get that piece that I sent you? Are you entertained? Did you read? Dude, he went back to like 1700s on that ass. And Malcolm summed it up. All these entertainers and athletes ain't nothing but puppets for the master.
Timeless.
Distraction while they robbing you over here. And they all been elevated above everybody else. Why ain't you going and talking to that headmaster like, where's Superman? Who brought the charter school, Jeffrey, can't remember his last name, but he got a real popular last name. and he went and created these powerful charter schools. That's leadership. No, because guess what? If they start thinking like that, they start thinking about like Reginald F. Lewis, then we lost them and we have no more leverage in that community. And just like the cat from that record label said, oh, Universal, whatever, how did we reinvigorate our brand? Oh man, we brought Jimmy Iovine on, and Jimmy Iovine brought the Negroes. And we started giving them information, and we blew up our whole platform. Them good old Negroes made our platform great. Now we're a multi-billion-dollar company. Anytime they are destitute, man, you got to be a critical thinker. And that's what Kwame is, and people didn't think he was because he was staying silent. Mm-hmm. Like he said, he would be a little kid, and he'd come out and his dad's having a conversation with grown men. He'd say, son, it's a grown man conversation. Go back to where you were. Mm. The woman come into the room, and she want to put her little 2 cents in, and like you said, emasculate the black male, because you see it on these reality shows, which is all scripted. Mm-hmm. Honey, this is not your place for a conversation right now. I'll see you back in the room. Oh, you're no, it's not, because certain things you shouldn't be exposed to, because you're going to start hardening your femininity, your softness, your completer to us. You don't see that in the Jewish community. Just like Kwame said, say something about the Jews. Oh, they shut stuff down. Like he said, said something about Rachel Nichols. All of a sudden, his YouTube channel got cut off. But you can call you clowns, N-words, bees, thugs, everything, and the ratings go up and the advertisers spend more money. But let you say, oh man, I think that person, she's acting a little bit masculine. All of a sudden, amazingly, your shit cut off. Because you don't own nothing. Every time a institution of media needs to get off the ground, or they went up the top and they start fledging, they go find the magic Negroes. See, I'm a lot more articulate than Kwame Brown.
Yeah,
I got an education. But Kwame Brown got that old school intelligence and wisdom, because the dude went through a lot. I mean, he said he walked to school with no shoes. So how you think you're gonna clown me after I made it through all of that? And then I was the butt of jokes and being bullied by the GOAT of basketball for 4 years. And then I go to LA and I see how y'all prostitute yourselves behind the scenes, bending over backwards, grabbing your ankles, getting ran in. Yeah. You think in Hollywood, if all of a sudden they rise to the top and they look like you and me, they ain't getting ran in. I'll let you figure that out for yourself. And just like on the show Politicking, he talked about Will Smith. So when people, oh man, Jada Pinkett, man, she emasculated. Dude, he was emasculated before that. So yeah, all this ties into you poke the bear, and he came out and put you sissies, betas, and clowns in your spot. And now, like he said, everybody blow up his phone. They want to get, no, I don't got time for you. Just like we said last night. Guess what? The lion never concerns himself about the gazelle. He don't even concern himself about a single hyena. But you keep, poking, then I just got to smack. I mean, you ever had, a cockroach just show up when you were in the hood and stuff, and out of nowhere, boom, you just smash it. Mm-hmm. Or an ant just shows up. Like they say in the Bible, they say, man, one thing you can never keep out of the kingdom or the palace are ants. One ant is not, but I don't care how impeccable, flawless you are, they will always find a way. The roach, dude, has survived, atomic bombs. But the reality is, one of them can't harm you at all. But a whole bunch of them keep nibbling at you. They bother you. So you just got to smash them out. Dude, it is a race to the bottom. We're already at the bottom. We're living in the abyss. And the sad part is, these bougie people are endorsing that because they are only thinking about their own personal gain for their family. And there are gatekeepers. And again, if you can't afford to sustain your own lifestyle, you have to depend on those people. And those people don't respect you. But, you know, a lot of people say, hey, man, I'd rather live on my knees and just be living good than stand for something, man. But the irony of it is, Nick, if we all stood up, we would never have to live on our knees. Because, see, here's how you affect change. One word, economics. Because here's what they understand. They understand money. You want to get to them, stop their money. You want to stop them, you know, harming us, harm them.
That's it.
That's all it is, bro. It's never going to change. And then you have power. Because where do you get your culture from if you can't be a culture vulture? You're not creative like that. You might be able to do coding and create some Snapchats, some Googles and Yahoo. But guess what? Who has to actually propagate and use that to make it profitable? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, back to the Magic Negroes. Because a lot of the other people, they don't have their kids doing a lot of that foolish stuff until they see you doing it because it's cool, man. Show me a social media construct that did not get impacted, you know, 20, 40, 100x without black people. Show me one.
They ain't gonna be able to do it.
Show me one. When they want to push soda, pop, whatever you want to call it, soft drinks with diabetes 10 times X, what people do you see pushing it? And they be having all these clown uniforms on and stuff. Black people, black athletes, black entertainers. That's why they get paid the most for endorsements. It's not Ronaldo. It's not Messier. Who sell more shoes? Kanye. This fool selling shoes with the word N on it. And y'all thinking that's fashion. And white people calling you the N-word in Paris and you, oh yeah, man. Yeah, I'm a billionaire. Yeah, you a dummy. Don't nobody respect you. I don't care how creative you are. I don't respect no fool. So in a nutshell, that's what Kwame was talking about. And now it's like he's relevant because they think they can, you know, monetize it. He's like, you're not monetizing me. Oh yeah, man. Let me talk to you. Let me do an expose on you. He's like, no, brother, it ain't happening. And another thing I like what he said, I ain't out here walking in fear and y'all projecting this. We need to be in fear for our lives. But I'm out here every day down in the South, walking around amongst black, white people because I'm a real man and I'm raising my children to be real men and real women. I'm not like what you see on the television because you're teaching the complete opposite. And like I always say, what they're projecting on all these mediums, that is actually the exception to the rule because statistically wise, we're really collectively, even though we're not a monolith, we're actually solid, principle, character-based people. We're actually more solid-based people than anybody on the planet. Why is that? Because we are real people of God, so we don't have to do things, you know, in fear or depravity. But we get caught up in that unfortunateness. Because of pop culture.
Yep.
So what they didn't realize is Kwame is he's a real man, you know. Yeah. And all I need to do and just like, you know, hey man, just eliminate that N word because there's no positiveness in that. And I even need to coach you sometimes out of emotion using profanity because profanity is just ignorance made audible. But sometimes you have to use profanity just to, you know, shock people.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But there's no justification for using the N word, the B word, the MF word ever. None. And I don't care. Oh man, you don't get it, man. It's the terms and different. Okay, well, why ain't they calling themselves that? You don't hear Jews calling themselves by the negative words that people say about them. You don't hear white people calling themselves negative words they say about themselves, about people say about them. You sure don't hear Mexicans, Dominicans, all that. You don't. But we, oh man, dude, yeah, that's my dog. Really? You want to be a dog? And I'm guilty. I remember I was in college. Oh, what up, dog? Right? I really want to be that. I want to be the dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, hey man, I'm turning back over to you, man, because yeah, man, we fired up like, man, dude, on Thursdays and tomorrow night, Bet on Black, the women, the family, the legacy, you're gonna see real successful, significant sisters, corporate executives, entrepreneurs, 7 figures, business owners that main thing they have in common, they are the completer to their husbands. And it's funny, in BK1, that's exactly what it says. It says that in the Quran as well. So how did we get it twisted? And in both of those books, in the Torah too, it says there'll come a time in life that all this bad will be good and all this good will be bad. And that time is right now.
Yes, it is.
Because the adversary is winning, but the adversary understands he has no eternity in heaven. And these fools think that this is it.
Foolish.
So again, if you don't press upon your child or young people to read, study, be critical thinkers, we have done them a disservice. So another thing that my dad and my granddad taught me, say, hey, you can hate me now, but you will love me later because I'm going to instill these principles of character in you. So you'll be able to say no to this silliness. And don't be worried about these social cancel culture, because guess what? I'm not acknowledging you. In order for you to have validation, I have to acknowledge you idiot. And guess what? Since we own our own platform, I don't have to worry about somebody clipping a switch and say, oh, your 250,000 followers no longer because your account is suspended for indefinite. And now that's your only source of income, idiot. You go back to what you were. So there's another saying. Be careful of the people that you step over going up the ladder, because they'll be the same people you see going down the ladder.
Yep. Yep.
Ain't nobody gonna remember them 2 clowns. This like, I mean, he gave him an appropriate name, a Becky.
Yep. Becky,
and I forgot what he called the other one, little boy.
Yep.
And the first thing they can think about, oh man, I'm coming to get you, man. I'm gonna put some hands on you. And that's exactly what the white people in the institutions want you to do. See, look at them. They're not even sophisticated enough to handle their stuff in a civil way. And he gave a great example. He said, look, when Ben Shapiro has a difference with Bill Maher, they talk about it in a civilized way, even though they don't come from a civilized history, because they come from savagery. You see what I'm saying? So now we're emulating and imitating the savagery. And then again, you have Jamel Hill talk about, oh, Kwame is gonna go to violence. Kwame didn't say nothing about fighting nobody. Said it's all jokes. He got a smile on his face. Yep. He said, look at my face. This is the way my face normally. Again, inferiority. See, here's what you got to understand, man. The biggest trick is that they project their insecurities on you by trying to make you feel guilty about being supremely confident. So if you don't look and act the way they need you to because they are inferior to you in terms of their confidence, they try to make you think, oh man, if I don't talk like you, Bill, and act like you, Becky, you're mad, you're angry. Here's the reason why they say that, because think about this. Tell me a wild animal that you can go out and abuse. Go out and try to catch a coyote. Go out and try to catch a bobcat, and you catch it, put it in a cage, and while you have it in a cage, you abusing it, but you know, because it's in a cage, it can't do nothing to you, right? So you won't even feed it for 3-4 days, and then you'll give it a little food, and then you know in the back of your mind, they get out of that cage, what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to attack your ass. Basic law of preservation, right?
Yep.
So what do you think that these cats got in the back of the receipts of their brains for 600 years of abuse? If I was them being abused like we abused you, the first thing I'm going to do is eliminate you. So I got to diffuse that rightfully injustification that you have caused me. So I got to start making you doubt yourself, and anything I can keep you off balance. Oh, you look conflicted. You look angry. Oh, you look like you're upset. Because if I just realized that you really are the one that put me in a no-win situation, and it's, again, it says in BK1, it says in the Quran, it says in the Torah, go down to your enemies. And I'm paraphrasing, ladies and gentlemen, and take out everybody. Why do you see in these movies the hero story is that if the male character gets killed and the son is alive at 5, 6, 7 years of age, what is that son's mission for the rest of his life? It's to get justice.
Get that vengeance, yep.
Vengeance at all costs. Because that is the natural law of self-preservation. And guess what? They got to continue to keep you off balance, the clowns, the simpletons, because if you woke up, in this overused word of woken upness, which is bullcrap, in consciousness, but you are just a human who has a respect and a value for you and your people, you would have to terminate them because you know deep down they're not changing. You feel me? Now, that ain't all of them, but unfortunately, show me on this planet called Earth, wherever they put their footprints on, there has not been mass destruction and thievery, pillage of any people other than themselves. Show me historically. Show me one. Show me one. I'm waiting.
He's waiting. Yep. He got time. He'll wait. He'll wait.
But conversely, I can show you multiple examples of where our people have gone into other countries and helped people, sacrificed, gave up for the betterment of what? It's about humanity at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Humanity. Because like we said last night, racism ain't nothing but a race. And the first thing we should be thinking about is humanity. Because at the end of the day, we all are human. And one life taken is one too many when somebody has eliminated somebody out of any type of prejudice, racism, or whatever. Because we're all human. When you slice open your arm, they slice open theirs. Funny thing is, it's all red, brother.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So, and then let me give you another history lesson. If you go back to the Roman Empire and the Greece, the court jester, what was their job? To entertain who? The kings, the queens, the duchess. And guess what today's court jester is? The athlete, the entertainer. And just like politicking and, you know, are you entertained said, show me where in their culture, PWI, the Asian culture, the Mexican, Puerto Rican, Swedish culture, where they elevate athletes and entertainers to leadership to run countries. Show me an example. Now, you might say Arnold Schwarzenegger, dude, that's an what do they call it when it happens one time?
It was an anomaly, right?
An anomaly, right? Yeah. But in our culture, man, dude, when did it become all of a sudden I'm supposed to be taking my purpose in life from a whore? I was taking my purpose in life from a biracial, mixed up in the head like cement kid who's trying to show he's black, which is a stereotypical negative connotation of black, because that ain't black. I'm supposed to take lead, and he, yeah, man, man, yeah. You know, I got yeah, Showtime, man. Man, I got my own show. Man, I got $20 million contract. Oh, hold on, man. Let me finish this blunt. I'm gonna pass it to the shorty. Yeah, the shorty, he really shorty. He like 5 years old. And you know, I'm gonna be your president tomorrow. Now back to a word from our sponsors. I don't know, bro. I just said enough today.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You definitely would. Yeah. How about that? Let's go to a break, and then we'll wrap up and get ready for this party. We'll be right back with Nick's Knowledge and Notions. Stay tuned.
This is DJ the Money Coach. Thank you for celebrating our 1-year anniversary with us. Thank you for the emails, videos, and the phone calls. Most importantly, congratulations for the hundreds of people who actually acquired the course. Now it's time to take it to the next level. That's right. Millionaire, Money Made. I'm actually going to teach you live how to earn that 800 credit score through the Family Finance 101 course. I'm going to teach the live 3-hour course to you. That's right. After I do that, we're actually going to bring you 3 steps to success: business, real estate, and leverage for tax laws. And once we achieve that, we're going to show you how to earn with a little bit of investment in the market up to an 80% return, cash return on your money. After we achieve that, we're going to show you how to earn with a minimum investment of $7,500, how to get you to $850 a month in passive income. On top of that, we're going to give you 2 live Zoom trainings with Leonard Ray, 7-figure Forex trainer since 2007, Clarence and Tanya, 7-figure income earners through real estate, over 200 properties they own and retired at the young age of 40 and 42. All you have to do is register now. Hit that link below, and you'll become part of the Millionaire Money Making Maine exclusively with Erica Williams and the Classic Climb, brought to you by DJ the Money Coach and the 7 Spheres of Money team. So don't you deserve to be a millionaire next door, consumer debt free, cash and credit? Absolutely. Hit the link. I'll see you live on May 19th.
Toledo Organic Tequila is so crisp, so incredibly smooth. It's simply in a category by itself. This is luxury. Light tastes better naturally, so should your tequila. This is Toledo. Enjoy responsibly.
Visit ToledoTequila.com to get your bottle of Toledo Organic Tequila. Get a 10% discount for DJ the Money Coach by entering the promo code MONEY at checkout. Again, that's ToledoTequila.com, promo code MONEY to get 10% off your Toledo purchase. Now, let's start the show.
All right, and we are back. Welcome back to Nick's Knowledge and Notions in Cube Science Series. And that ad you just saw for the webinar is actually coming up this Monday. And I'll put the registration link in the chat. It's in the description already. If you haven't registered for that webinar, that 3 steps to success: business, real estate, Forex. This Monday at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Let me grab that registration link for you. Yep. So it's in the chat there, and it's in the description as well. Yep. So make sure you register and make sure you're in the building for that. You don't want to miss that.
Yeah, man, especially if you're serious about getting your life right and you're serious about owning yourself. Here's the thing that you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals. You can literally have freedom in America, this corporation called United States of America. Yes, it is a corporation. That's why it has a president. Look it up. It was incorporated. Okay, it's a corporation. So if you literally were able to get your debt, consumer debt, down to pretty much nil, nothing, and you can elevate your credit score, and you can pay yourself first, have an emergency fund, 3 to 6, sometimes 12 to 24 months, and fully fund your Roth IRA, and then start a business and make $100,000 a year debt free, and be it residual. There's nothing that you couldn't accomplish on this planet. And the reason why I know is because I've sat down with over 25,000 people. I've been doing this since 2000. And I've been teaching people in churches, communities, schools, airports, governments, Federal Reserve. And the numbers don't change, ladies and gentlemen. All you have to do is go to irs.gov and look at the tax returns that are filed. And you're going to find out that 20% of Americans only make $60,000 a year. I'm talking about as individuals. And 5% Americans make over $100,000. If you're running in your circle, and your circle is people who make $100,000, $200,000, that is not the norm in America. That is exceptional. But if you're making that kind of money and you have 5, 10x of that debt, you're never going to be 100% free, because you are a victim of commercial consumerism. So before you can start jumping off and making all this money, you should have some people in your corner that are professionals in the 7 spheres of money. You should have a proactive relationship with your accountant. If you just got with your accountant or tax preparer right at tax time, you're really not doing it wise. And I don't care how big your tax return is. Okay, but they should be putting more money in your pocket throughout the year. If you're an individual and you're making $50,000 to $250,000 a year, you should be having a conversation with your tax filer and your CPA twice a year minimum. Now, if you happen to be a business owner, and better yet, you're a YouTuber, you're an IGer, you're a Facebooker, you're on Twitch, Twitter, and you making your money as a social media influencer, and all of a sudden you're making big money, and you don't have an attorney, you don't have an accountant, you don't have a financial planner, you're nothing but a wise fool. What is that? They call it a sophomore in high school. You should have conversations on a proactive manner every 90 days, every fiscal quarter. Guess what? Real corporations do that. They say, a fool and his money will soon part. It's amazing how he got together with it in the first place. And if you are sitting up, I don't want to invest in a planner because he or she may charge me $500, $1,000. But if you gave them $500 and $1,000 and they made you 10, 20, 100,000 and you made 100,000, but you kept 60% of it, would you be better off for making that investment? We're so busy in our community hustling from nothing. And then when we make something, because we have poor self-images, we go out and give it right back to corporate America in the form of get the big car, get the big house. Now I got to work even harder because my image is actually my enemy. Not your followers, it's the image, because you have low self-esteem that you can't sit up and say, hey man, I'm building a business and I don't have to show you the physical results. Let me show you the mental and the foundation that once I make 100,000, I'll have 200,000 because I have a team together. And that's what the 7 spheres of money is. So I would encourage you to invest in yourself. There's not a professional that I personally know, and I know multimillionaires. And I've worked for Fortune 50 companies, Fortune 1000 companies. I haven't met one yet that doesn't have a team of advisors, legal, accounting, operation, planners, administrators. And you know what? They get them first, then they start building their business. They may come up with an idea, but then they put a team. There's a saying in high finance: money follows business teams that have accomplished stuff. Money follows business teams. Come up with a startup, and the first thing that the VC angel investor is going to ask you, who's on your team? Who's done this before? Who's actually brought it across the finish line? And we're not talking about a lot of money that you need to invest in yourself. If you want to make 100,000 $200,000 in a business, you should be investing a third in R&D, research, development, and training for your team and your personal self, or you're not going to sustain it and keep it. Those are facts. Give you another tip, and we're out of here. Amazon was in the red for at least a decade, and in their R&D, they spent billions of dollars in their infrastructure to create Prime, their distribution chains, and then they spent money to get the patent for the click one purchase, which revolutionized their business. And then PayPal became big because it linked up with eBay, because they put the team together. And then once they got their intellectual property and their network solidified, now they have their foundation. They would scale up, and every year they get more and more profitable without making more sales. And that's what you need to learn as a real business person, as an influencer. So if you're an influencer and you're watching this and you don't have a regular relationship with a CPA, an attorney for your trademarks, your patents, and a financial planner, you're gonna run off the cliff. How many times you seen basketball players, entertainers, and business owners who made millions of dollars and then they're broke and never come back? That is a cautionary tale that happens every day. P.T. Barnum said, there's a sucker born every day. And guess what? If you in the room and you don't know who the sucker of the mark is, it's you. So I would encourage you, invest in yourself, come to this live webinar, and check out the best team in the middle class. I mean, from workers to entrepreneurs, because we have people who have 10, 15, 20 years in niche services, CPAs who have worked doing billion-dollar audits for ExxonMobil, attorneys who have been the trademark patent litigation attorneys for McDonald's hamburgers, financial planners who have managed millions of dollars for corporate America, and business owners who have built real B2B businesses that made 7 figures on an annual basis. So you may be making your millions of dollars, but if you wanted to stay around, just take a look at the pandemic. Tell me how many multi-billion-dollar companies are no longer with us. And if they ain't no longer with us, what makes you think you better? You smarter? And here's the last tip. If you're the smartest person in your group, you need to get a new group. Back to you, Nick.
All right, yep, that's right. So the link is in the description. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this show up. So so just to tie everything back together, a few things that I want to leave with everybody on this topic of Kwame Brown, on masculinity, the manhood, and money. You know, number one thing, real men practice those 2 words that DJ always talks about: accountability and discipline. But you know, he mentioned those, you know, maybe not directly, but he mentioned those in that video response, you know, talking about one of those clowns on there that said he was never held accountable, you know, when he was coming up, and probably wasn't even held accountable as an adult. You know, he did whatever he wanted to do off the court, you know, with no consequence, you know. So real men hold themselves and each other accountable, and they practice discipline and self-discipline. Another thing, real men don't talk down on other real black men, you know, for their own benefit or for $1. Real men don't do that.
Yeah, you know what they do? They call up and say, "Hey, man, I got a difference with you. Let's talk about it. Let's settle it." And here's the great thing I like about what Kwame. Hey, man, I don't have a problem apologizing, because that ain't weakness. That's strength.
Strength. Yep. Absolutely. And no, another thing real men do, they cut the lip service and they actually bring you tangible results. They establish programs, institutions. You know, they set these up for future generations, so they can grow and do better than the current generation, instead of just getting on platforms and talking all the time. that's what real men do. Real men are about action.
Yeah, I hate to tell you, that's feminine energy. When a man is chatty like Chatty Patty, that's feminine energy. That ain't positive.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. Real men make sacrifices. You know, they put to the side that immediate gratification for that long-term goal and that long-term reward. You know, real men do that. Real men don't spend their money foolishly. Real men save and invest and think long-term and not the short term. And the last thing that really stood out to me and was so timely, just based on what we talked about last night on Bet on Black, was that if you don't have a father or a man in your immediate life, you go out and find that older man and you soak up that knowledge from him. Kwame had that 70-year-old brother that he rode to work every single day. He listened to that man. He soaked up everything he learned, as a teenager. Now he's 39 and he remembers all those lessons that he got from that man, and he passed it on to his children. So
and again, in BK1, it says raise up a child, and they'll come right back to it.
Yep. So there it is. That's what we stand on. We stand on real manhood, masculinity, and being dollar smart and not penny foolish. and that's what we're gonna leave you all on. So tune in Sunday night for Bet on Black, the women, the family, legacy. Then we'll be right back with you on Monday for the webinar, and then just follow us through the rest of our weekly programs. So until then, we wish you a pom lifestyle that has plenty of money, peace of mind, and we want you to come join us on the beaches of the world. And your beach may not be next to sand or water, but your beach is wherever you find your freedom and your peace of mind. So we'll see you next time. Take care. You have been watching Nick's Knowledge and Notions. Peace.
This is Mark. Just wanted to send you a thank you. Definitely helped me out through this season, this crazy season that's going on, not only outside in the world, but for me, myself, being a professional, working right now, but also trying to open a business and trying to get that moving along. Definitely needed strong, caring, resourceful people around my circle. And that's what I got, starting this business out. I did not know, it was going to have all of these challenges. I got a very good jumping off point, very good resources. But then you came in and started dropping a lot of knowledge. You need A, B, C, and D, and, that's helped me. That's helped me all throughout, the book recommendations you've given me, some of the information you've passed out to me, and some of the other resources that you've had in your toolkit, and given all to me. Not only that, but really giving me an ear throughout all of my troubles, that I'm facing right now, kind of the fears that I'm having for the foreseeable future. You were there, and I really got to thank you for that. I think I would progress, but not as I am right now, not with a clearer vision, of what's going to happen tomorrow. So I want to thank you. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for giving me your time, and thank you for giving me those resources that will definitely help push me forward. And for anybody who's looking to work with DJ on some level, go ahead, try it, invest. this is probably some of the best help I've ever received in my life. So guys, just take it for what it is, and I'm grateful. I really am grateful that DJ was there to help. So.
7 Spirits of Money, DJ the Money Coach. Shouts out to you, Malcolm, for the plug. Urban X family. If you're looking forward to investing, the first smart investment you're gonna make is in this webinar. When I say DJ the Money Coach has what you need, like it's worth it. Like I got so much information. I'm not saying I didn't think I would get any information, but I got way more information than I thought I needed, and I enjoyed speaking with the bankers and the lawyers about mortgage processing and business loans and LLCs. And like when I say like it's endless info, it's well worth it. Like I cannot wait for my consultation. If you missed this last one, I heard there's another one coming. So you might want to jump on that train. Anyways, thanks a lot, guys. Peace, family.
How you doing? My name is Malcolm Bowser, and this is the Black Dot. DJ the Money Coach has been working with our Urban X family for at least 18 months. And in this 18 months, he has demonstrated his ability to lead those who are new to finances to those who are more advanced. What I like about DJ the Money Coach is that he takes his time, he makes his information understandable, and all of our nation, the Urban X Nation, has benefited from it. And even if you are advanced, he has programs that he designs just for you so that you too can benefit from his expertise. So we would like to thank all that DJ the Money Coach has done and what he has presented to us at Urban X.
And one thing I can say about DJ the Money Coach is that he's been super approachable to people within our community, and he's made information that would be otherwise intimidating to people within our community, like Roth IRAs, savings accounts, automations, and things like that, very easy to understand, and he's given us very actionable items to do, and I thank him for it.
And these are examples in real time and in real life. And we feel that the last frontier for us as a community to grow is economic independence, and DJ the Money Coach is leading the way.
Hey, Black Valley, welcome. Hey, Urban family. Just want to say thank you to you guys so much, and DJ the Money Coach for offering incredible services. The webinar that you guys hosted last night was outstanding. So much so that I even bought a package during the webinar. I'm so excited for my future and to do it on my lifestyle. And thank you guys so much. I'm super excited. I'll see you guys at the next one.